So first, I think it's worthwhile to consider how we're going to deal with this situation. And many of us are thinking of all the things that we could be doing and all the things that could happen if we don't, and then all of the things that could happen that might happen regardless of any of our individual efforts. So we're also looking to other people, and there are moments of interconnectedness happening, us coming together with a shared goal, and there's fragmentation. Today I was walking by Whole Foods and saw quite a few people arguing about the queue, because there's a pretty long queue and they're letting people in batch by batch, which is a great precautionary step that Whole Foods is taking. But I saw people arguing about who should go in line first. And I've seen countries compare each other, or people comparing their country versus another country, who is better in comparison. And so everything is going on at once. And what I realized is that this is really, for me, and I think for all of us, is a time to show the fruits of our practice. And if we haven't practiced, then it's a time to show, it's a time where we can more easily look at what's going on within ourselves. For me, I've always needed a high level of contrast to see the difference between who I am now and who I was before. So seeing someone that I hadn't seen in 6 years and spending time with them helped me reflect on that because of the contrast. And this sort of event that's taken hold has created such a huge contrast in us. And so we have this time to look inwards, and we can do that by observing ourselves passively as we go out and act as we usually do. And we have to keep bringing questions to ourselves in a way that makes us curious, not to reach a conclusion about ourselves, but to really know where to focus our attention. So other than following the best practices of your locale administration and doing all the steps involved, the biggest thing you could be doing is creating capacity for other people. The capacity to take on other people's trips. If you can stay still while someone vents to you, or if someone lashes out, or even if you are doing the lashing out, there is a part of you that can stay still, observing and seeing the causes and conditions that created that. And over time, we can create a gap between our habitual responses and the stimulus that sets it off. There's a gap. So we see something, and then there's a gap, and then we do something. And the practice of meditation allows us to create just a subtle gap, just enough to where our awareness is still present during that time. And so this week, as we go into week 2, I really encourage you to look inwards, to find action in inaction. Because right now, it's possible that your biggest contribution is doing nothing. So, as all the information that you're taking in, the data deluge, all of the articles, all those things, those can all get us worked up, anxious, thinking about the future, imagining very bad outcomes. And what we have to say is that's not a sustainable way to motivate yourself, because it's motivated from the point of anxiety, from fear. And so then you become more sensitive, your world becomes smaller, your mind becomes tight. But the mind doesn't want to be tight. It's expansive. And when we're not accessing that, we don't have the capability to be creative. And when we can't be creative, we can't help others figuring a way out of this coronavirus that we're going through right now, this COVID-19. So I encourage you and myself to take this week and really observe the emotions, the repetitive thoughts that are coming up, how we're reacting with certain people. Maybe you're home with someone more often than you'd like to be. And just observe how it comes up, where it comes up, the tension that you feel, and take care of yourself. Make sure you're sleeping, because if you don't take care of yourself, then you're almost sure to fall into a kind of reactionary mode with high sensitivity. So and I'll see you next time.